In this video, we learn about how to control emission shader in Blender EEVEE engine. First, open Blender 2.80 and delete all objects in the viewport. Now, add a plane and scale it 8 times. After that, add a sphere and subdivide it once. And smooth its shading. Now move it 1 time at the Z-axis. This sphere is going to be our emission light source. Now, add a cube. And move it once at the Z-axis, and place it near to this sphere like this. You can move it in a selected axis, by pressing Shift with Z key. Now our base scene is ready, and now we have to create materials for this scene. For that, first, turn your viewport into rendered. Select the sphere, and go to the Material tab, and create a new material for it. Created material has a principled shader for its surface. Click and change it into the emission shader. And set its strength value to 10. You can see there is nothing happened. Lighting of EEVEE engine is totally different than the lighting of Cycles engine. Cycles engine is casting the all lighting in same process. But EEVEE engine casts its indirect lighting separately, and it can bake also. EEVEE engine's lighting part of emission shader is separated to this indirect lighting. Therefore, we have to use Irradiance Volume for lighting of emission shader. First, turn the viewport into solid, and add an Irradiance Volume into your scene. After adding it, scale it 8 times under the X and Y axis. You can do it by pressing Shift with Z keys with scaling. Now turn the viewport into front view, and scale the probe under the Z axis, like this, and move it slightly, like this. Now turn the viewport into normal view, and turn the viewport shading into rendered. After that, go to the indirect lighting section of Properties panel. And click the Bake Indirect Lighting button. Now you can see, Irradiance Volume is baking the lighting for this emission light source. After baking lighting, change your render engine into Cycles, and see how Cycles lighting works for this scene. You can see, it has huge difference. Now turn into EEVEE engine, and select your light probe. And move into its Object Data tab. You can see there is resolution values for all the axes. Change X and Y value to 10. And bake the indirect lighting. You can see now lighting is good, but not same to Cycles lighting. Cycles cast more detailed lighting for the scene. Like this probing method, you have to increase more probe resolution, and you have to use more graphics memory, and you have to spend more time. But, in this lesson, we teach you an easy probing method for bake your indirect lightings. Let's start its work. First, delete your old lighting crashes, and delete this light probe. Now, add new Irradiance Volume, and scale it 8 times, under the X and Y axis. Now move into Properties region panel, and set Z, scaling of probe to 0.01. After that, move into Object Data of probe. And, set Z resolution value to 1, and X, Y resolution values to 40. Now, select your cube, and snap your cursor to selected. Now, add the Irradiance Volume, and turn into front view. And zoom into the cube. After that, go to your Object Data of probe, and set its distance value to 0. Now scale the probe under the X and Y axis. And now scale with Z axis. Now move your probe, in Z axis, without hit the we created base mesh. Now our basic probing setup is ready. After at all, go to your indirect lighting section, under the Properties panel. And set its cube map size to 64px, and bake indirect lighting. After baking, you can see the lighting works properly, and it is casting a shadow for the cube. Now, see this scene in Cycles engine. This time, get more Cycles samples to see the scene properly. After getting samples, now turn into EEVEE engine. You can see its lighting similarity. Now, see this scene with other render features. First, enable Ambient Occlusion. After enabling it, you can see there is something wrong. It's showing lighting samples cube map. For fix this issue, uncheck this, bent to normal. Now you can see, lighting is doing well. Now enable bloom feature. You can see, we created emission light source is blooming. It gives more reality for this scene. Now enable screen space reflection. It will cast the all reflection details for this scene. This time, get more lighting samples, and get a similar details to Cycles. Therefore, first disable all render features. And, turn your viewport into solid. And turn on show over layers. First select floor light probe, and move into its object data. And set X, Y resolution to 80. Now select cube's light probe, and set its X, Y, and Z resolution to 7. This time, we are going to see how it will bake this lighting samples. For see that, go to your indirect lighting section, and enable irradiance size under the display section, and set its value to 0.3. Now turn your viewport into rendered, and you can see, it is showing old lighting details. Go to indirect lighting section and delete the lighting caches. And bake indirect lighting. There is an issue, this part of the floor is not getting any samples. For fix this, delete your lighting caches. And select the floor probe, and move into its object data. Increase or decrease probe's resolution as you wish. Now, bake the indirect lighting, and you can see it is baking well. This baking process takes several minutes. And remaining time is based on your computer. You can turn off the show over layers to see baked results. There is a cubic detailed lighting map on your floor probe. We define the size of this cube map from changing the value of cube map size. We are getting large amount of cube maps for the small area in this scene. For that, we can decrease our size of the cube map. Now it's done first diffuse bounce for the floor probe. Now it is getting lighting samples to the other probe. After getting samples for it, now you can see the floor is smooth, and there is no cube map details on it. It works with this irradiance smoothing value. You can increase and decrease this value, and see what is the changes. Recommended value is 0.1. Now you can see, this scene is getting second diffuse bounce for this floor. You can control these bounces by changing this diffuse bounce value. After baking all the bounces, you can see it, the similarity between the Cycles results. Now add a camera and place it. And, render the image with EEVEE engine. After rendering, now change Render Engine into Cycles, and set its render samples to 512, and enable denoising feature. Now go to your render result panel. Change its slot 1 into slot 2, and minimize that window and render your scene. Now, you can see this both of images are from the EEVEE and Cycles engines. You can see there is a similarity between them. Try more stuff with this method. If you liked this video, hit like button. If you have learned something new, hit subscribe. If you hit the bell icon, you will get notifications as soon as we upload a new video. Learn with IBN. Thank you for watching.